sorry about that. We are live. I was muted. So let me start over. Welcome to the live Q&A for Brother I Cry. I'm Adriana Chartrand, the Institute Manager at imagineNATIVE. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm here to let you know about some amazing language-focused programming we have tomorrow on our Industry Days platform. Please join us for that. And most importantly, I'm here to congratulate Jessie Anthony on her moving and amazing first feature film. Congratulations, Jessie. We're so thrilled to be able to show it here at imagineNATIVE. Jessie is one half of the winning team of the EPTN imagineNATIVE web series pitch competition from last year, and we are so proud. Congrats again, Jessie, and I'm going to turn it over to Susan Blight, one of our programmers, to take it away for the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you,
Adriana. Welcome, everybody. We want to start by thanking our presenting partner, Crave, as well as our screening partner, Wilfrid Laurier University. We are joined by the folks who were involved with Brother I Cry. So joining me this afternoon is director Jessie Anthony, producer Andy Hodgson, and actor Lauren Hill. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this feature focus. And congratulations. So maybe we'll start with a round of introductions. Jessie, if you want to start, and we'll introduce ourselves to everyone who's watching.
Sure. Thank you. Sego Sogego. My name is Jessie Anthony. I am from the Onondaga Nation Beaver Clan from 6 Nations of the Grand River Territory. I currently live, work, play, create on the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish peoples.
Hey guys, my name is Andy Hodgson. I'm the producer and cinematographer of Brother I Cry. I am from Ecuador, South America. I've been in Vancouver for about 17 years working in film, and I'm very grateful to have worked on Brother I Cry with Jessie.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Hill. I play Ava in the feature film Brother I Cry. I am from 6 Nations of the Grand River Territory, Mohawk Nation, and this is my first feature film, and I'm very honored to have been a part of it.
Well, thank you, everybody. It was, as part of the programming jury, it was such a privilege to watch this film. And there's another congratulations for you, Jessie, in terms of the VIFF, Vancouver International Film Festival. You won the BC Emerging Filmmaker Award. Congratulations. So maybe you can start by telling us about the journey for this film. What is the origin story for Brother I Cry?
Well, thank you so much for that. The origins for this story actually started, I was inspired by a dream that I had about my brother overdosing and him trying to find his body, and he needed me to help him. And when I woke up, I just had this overwhelming amount of fear that this was my reality, and I had to say something. So I had to write a piece of work for a class assignment, and then it turned into my graduating short film. It was 6 pages. It went from like 18 pages to 6 pages, and then we used that short film, chopped it up, and pitched it to Telefilm to the micro budget, now Talent to Watch program in 2016, and we won the 2017. So that's kind of where it came from. It's inspired by a bunch of stories within my community, my experiences, but mostly the dream.
And Andy, how did you come on board as producer for the film?
Funny story. I was actually first asked to be the cinematographer for Jessie's movie. I was very intrigued by the story, as it resonates with a lot of sort of my upbringing in South America. And shortly after coming on board, Jessie had asked if I could help out with some of the producing aspects of the film as well. And being a producer myself and cinematographer, I took that opportunity and ran with it and sort of elevated the project and helped her vision come to life.
The film features some really extraordinary performances from Lauren and from Justin Rain. So maybe, Jessie, I'm wondering if you can talk about your approach to working with actors, what that looks like for you. And then we'd also love to hear from Lauren about your experience. You mentioned it was your first film working as an actor. So let's talk about that.
Well, actually, Lauren was part of the short film, and there was a little bit of a joke between us on set that she had been Ava for the past 3 years because it took about 3 years from the short to the feature. But I didn't audition Lauren. I just knew when we sat and had a conversation about where we're from, the same experiences, the same loss that we shared. Like, there was just things that resonated with me that I'm like, I don't know, I just knew. And then from the short film, it was just a feeling. So being in the feature with it, like, Lauren brings such a raw, subtle performance to the screen, and it's just, I don't know, I'm intrigued by Lauren's performances, and I could watch her all day, and I just knew I needed to put that on screen. So that was my approach to that. But I mean, I'd be curious to hear from the actor what or how she felt about my approach.
Thanks, Jess. This being my first feature, like, having the bit of experience with having graduated from Vancouver Film School, the acting program there, and a bit of experience in shorts, as well as Hagea, Jessie's short, it prepared me. I don't know. It was just absolutely surreal. Basically, my approach to the whole thing was just to be Ava and to be as true as I could to listen to Jess. Like, it is her story. It's our story, you know, like, it's many people's story. But Jessie is a very emotionally honest, very open person. So she made it a lot easier for me to connect and made it a whole lot less nerve-wracking too.
Well, the story itself, you know, Lauren, you're touching on this, the story itself contains a lot of themes that I think are sensitive for Indigenous peoples, very personal for Indigenous peoples, things that we know amongst ourselves as our community, but maybe don't always share or talk about. So I'm wondering, for the whole team, like, how do you decide sort of what should be shown and what should be held back in terms of the audience? And what is your approach to telling these kinds of stories and striking that balance?
That's a really good question. I would say that there was a lot in the script that didn't make it to screen because it didn't move the story forward the way that I envisioned it. And I think being in the moment, and it just had to come from a place of truth, and I didn't want to hold back on certain things. Like, I wanted it to, I don't know, I didn't really want to hold back on stuff. So what made it to screen, I think, my prayers were heard. Like, I do a lot of praying. We did a lot of, you know, prayers and smudging during the process. And I think really giving it and trusting that process allowed us to, you know, allowed what was supposed to come, if that makes sense. That's my approach. You know, and then there's the technical, there's the cinematic part of it, those sorts of things that I think we applied mood and yeah, I could go on about it. I'll let these guys talk.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, from my end, you know, we wanted to tell the story as raw and gritty as possible. So you were almost immersed. You felt like you were in the story, you were in the movie, and you can feel the characters. So in doing so, you know, there's a lot of, if you watch the film carefully, there's a lot of wonders. And in doing a lot of the wonders meant that you could not take your eye away from the character. There was nothing else to do but watch that character go through that emotion and go through that feeling. So I think that really helped the film in terms of not cutting it and not cutting away to anything, and really just showcasing what these characters were going through, what the impact of the story and what was happening during that specific scene. And that sort of, in the cinematic way, you know, related to the contrast of feeling like you're there with the characters. That would be my answer to that. Yeah.
I'm just gonna add to that very quickly. I think that's also something when we were talking shot list and talking like how we're gonna do this. You know, those oneers, they're meant to be uncomfortably long. I don't want to spoil anything. But also the fact that I wanted the camera to be a bit cinema viarte. I think I'm saying that properly, but I wanted it to be like a fly on the wall where it is invasive, but yet it sits in the corner watching this family. Like the camera is the trauma, is the intergenerational trauma, and it's there and it's looking you in the face, but you don't know what to do with it except be present and deal with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And I think in a lot of ways, we think that sort of camera style provides a distance, but in this film, it is actually kind of an intimacy and a connection that we feel in being a part of that environment, which I thought was really interesting. Lauren, in terms of your acting, and in terms of telling these kinds of stories, is there specific preparation that you have to do to tell a story like this?
Specifically for a story like this, for me, it is a lot of just prepping my mind, body, spirit, and everything, having gone through those traumas and dealing with somebody who's very close to me, who is an addict. Just preparing myself mentally. I don't know exactly how I do it. Counseling, the crew were it felt like a very safe environment to let go. Jessie always made me feel safe in that. And two, what Jessie touched on, just keeping that balance too, of keeping in mind like the camera angle. So it's like kind of like splitting my brain into like three different areas. Number one, I was pregnant at the time, so keeping my child safe, keeping myself safe, but also being aware of where the camera was, how much what of me is being seen, the whole technical side of it as well. And it was just such an amazing experience. It was incredible.
And how does it feel now, Lauren, to see yourself on the screen? Well, I guess we're not in theaters at this point, but I mean, to see yourself on some kind of screen.
I'm still very, very nervous. I haven't seen it yet. I bought my day 2 pass, entry and 4 and 5. But I'm at work all day today, so that's one of the first things I'll be doing when I get home.
One of the things that I found, like thematically, I'm sorry, Jessie, did you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just gonna go back to the actors and kind of the prep. The thing about the actors, I think, I don't know, I got really lucky with the chemistry that they brought to the set, and they were such hard workers in doing their homework, whether that be connecting to something personally in their lives or finding the thing that drew them forward. But each and every single actor brought their A game, and they really just their homework. They did their homework, like, I just am so appreciative of what they did prepare and however they prepared it and what they brought. It wouldn't be what it is without that. So.
We do have just 2 minutes, so I'm wondering, are you all working on something together? And if not, maybe let us know something you're working on individually.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jessie.
Go away.
Well, we're constantly working on things together. Jessie and I have just finished my Black Lives Matter El Color Negro short film, which premiered this morning on Director's Notes. If you guys want to check out the platform, just a quick plug-in. And we have some more projects. Aside from that, we do music videos, country music videos, and we also are planning our next feature film, which I cannot tell you what it is yet, but yeah, constantly working with her.
Yeah, and like was mentioned, sorry. So we are also, I'm about to go to camera. I'm so excited, I can't even talk. We're gonna go to camera November 5th for a web series, Querenza, which myself and Mary Galloway had won pitch last year at imagineNATIVE. So that's another project that is happening soon. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you all. Congratulations again. Lauren, congratulations on your performance. I think it's extraordinary. I think the film's great. And thank you everybody for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
You have 48 hours, maybe slightly less, to watch Brother I Cry on the platform. It remains on that platform. And thank you all so much.
Thank you.
A huge nyawagoa to everybody watching too. Thank you so much.
Here.